sort of streaming chat video. It's early in the morning. I will apologise for my rough appearance. But today's topic is NeoGeo Pocket. Now, I am a big fan of handheld consoles, as you know. Nintendo's, Game Boys, DS's, Sony's, PSP, and Vita. Uh, got a bit of a keen interest in things like the Bandai Wonder Swan, but the thing that has been on my radar for a good few years is a Neo Geo Pocket. Either the Neo Geo Pocket or the color version that was released a year later, the Neo Geo Pocket Color. And these are Japanese exclusive handhelds that were released, I think, around 1998, 1999, and they were supposed to be sort of competitors to the Game Boy, although they were 16-bit. And there's just something about them that has always piqued my interest. Never owned one, always wanted one, but the prices for them are so expensive. Um, this is a console that's 25, 26 years old. It wasn't very popular, as like with most Game Boy competitors. It did relatively well. It had quite a bit of a cult following nowadays. It was Japan exclusive, so that probably didn't help much either. But it's a fantastic console. Most of the games are sort of Japanese orientated, so there are a lot of RPGs, a lot of fighting, but there are some other sort of platformers and that sort of thing. Things like Metal Slug you can get on the Neo Geo Pocket. I think even there's a Sonic the Hedgehog Pocket, so a Sonic game that was released for the Neo Geo. Odd couple of consoles because most consoles do the backward compatibility thing where you can play your older games on the new console. But the Neo Geo did the opposite. It did forward compatibility, so you could play color games that were designed for the Neo Geo Pocket, which was released about a year after the mono Neo Geo, and you could play those color games on a Neo Geo just in mono. So it's a fantastic console, but prices for them are well, and they're not getting any cheaper. The prices of them just keep going up and up. I had a quick look again this morning, and you can pay about £40, 40, £50 for a non-working Neo Geo, or one that sort of spares or repairs. You're talking 70, £80 for a working one, and that's a Neo Geo. If you're looking for a color, you're looking a little bit more than that. But the games for it, the games are absolutely insane. I don't think I've seen a Neo Geo Pocket game for less than 15, and that was very lucky. Most of them are 40, 50, £100 for some of the rarer ones, even more than that for them games, and it's insane. It's not because the console is fantastic. I mean, it's a great console. Um, I think it's down to its rarity. That there can't be that many of them that are still working in their original condition. I've seen a lot of people repair them, mod them. You've got people like Elliot from the Retro Future. He redid a Neo Geo Pocket Color, give it a whole new shell swap, an IPS display, and it looked absolutely stunning. But it kind of takes away that original feel to it. I get that with a lot of these sort of mods. You can put in an IPS display in a Game Boy and or a Game Boy Color. It makes playing the games a lot better, but it detracts from that original kind of state of it. But back to Neo Geo, I am still on the hunt for one. I will pick one up at some point. Fantastic consoles, 16-bit, so they were ahead of, well, pretty much everything else that was out there. I mean, the Game Gear and the Game Boy and the Game Boy Color, they were 8-bit. Nintendo never released a 16-bit handheld. The Game Boy Advance, which came later, was a 32-bit. I'm not entirely sure about the Atari Lynx. I think that may have been a 16-bit console, so puts it in the same kind of realm as the Neo Geo. But yeah, I don't own one. I would love to own one. I constantly watch videos about them, and they're just something about them that intrigues me. I'm not even sure that I've sort of seen one in real life. There's a couple of retro stores that do deal in a lot of older consoles, but I've never seen one in there. My current one has a IPS modded Bandai WonderSwan. Lovely looking console. Another bizarre Japanese exclusive that was trying to compete with the Game Boy. Uh, that's also on my radar, but they are a lot cheaper. You can easily pick them up for like 20-30 pounds, and games start at about a tenner. But the NeoGeo Pocket and NeoGeo Pocket Color, this well, SNK were fantastic. They brought arcade games to the home with these very expensive home consoles like the AES and the Neo Geo CD. These were really expensive, but they were arcade quality in the home. The Neo Geo Pocket, the Neo Geo Pocket Color, tried to do the same thing in a handheld form, and they did. It was a great console. It just it lacked the momentum, and it just couldn't take on Nintendo, so it fell by the wayside. But yeah, just a little bit of a quick, well, Sunday morning live stream. I'm just talking about how I really admire the SNK Neo Geo Pocket or the Neo Geo Pocket Color, and I will pick one up at some point for a reasonable price. I don't particularly want to buy one that isn't working unless it's absolutely super cheap. I would like to get one and play it and be able to do it. And yes, I know I've got lots of other sort of systems that I could emulate it on. Um, my Ambernic will play Neo Geo Pocket games. My DSi, which is modded, that will play. My Vita will play Neo Geo Pocket ROMs, and you'll get the benefit of playing them on this amazing lit screen. And yeah. I want to check it out in its original hardware and pop a cartridge in and play like it's 1998 or 1999. Yeah, so there you go. Just a little bit of a chat, little rant about the Neo Geo Pocket Color. I've done some videos on it previously and mentioned it in previous videos, but I do have a thing for this little portable Japanese exclusive sort of turn of the century console that tried to muscle in to Nintendo's sort of Game Boy reign and didn't. Let me know. Do you own one? Are you a fan of them? Are you a fan of SNK in general? Yeah. Well, there you go. That's the end of this live stream. Enjoy.